Are you ready to shout today? This is our 20th year of having Carol McLeod Ministry conferences in Western New York. And I am so excited I could shout. At the beginning of the year, when I was praying about the year and what God wanted to do, the Lord actually gave me a word for the ministry. You know how some people pray for a word for the year? Well, I got my personal word for the year, but I also received from the Lord a word for the ministry for the year. And the word was double. And so my entire team and I began to pray, and we began to pray a doubling prayer. We prayed for double the salvations, double the healings, double the joy, double the open doors, double the provision, double the impact. We began to pray for double. So this is our 20th year of conferences. And I thought to myself, so what does the number 20 mean in the Bible? And I discovered that the number 20 means complete. It signifies the end of a waiting period. At the time of King David, the Levites could only begin to do the work of the Lord when they turned 20 years old. They couldn't serve the Lord until then. But when they turned 20, it was time to serve the Lord. So let me tell you something else about this number 20. Kof, K-O-F, is the Hebrew word that represents 20. And it's the beginning, it's the first letter of the word Kadash, which means holy. Do you remember the scriptures that says, you shall be holy unto me, Kadash unto me? For I, the Lord, am holy. That scripture is found in Leviticus 19:1. And the word holy begins with the letter that also means 20. So we've learned that 20 means complete or the end of a waiting period. We've learned that 20 means holy. And as I was pondering all of this, thinking about our 20th year of women's ministry conferences, then I thought about the word that the Lord had given me at the beginning of the year, the word double. And so you know what I did. I doubled 20. And when you double 20, it doesn't become 40, okay? When you double 20 in the Hebrew tradition, it becomes 2020 or two 20s back to back. Now, every Hebrew word has a number associated with it. So I looked up the Hebrew word that in the Strong's Concordance is the word 2020. This is where it gets exciting. So hang with me, lean in and listen, because this is exciting stuff. So 2020 is the Hebrew word Hatzalah. Let me say that again, Hatzalah, and it means deliverance. Now this word Hatzalah, wait till you hear this. It's only used one time in the Old Testament. It's when Mordecai, Esther's older relative, we call him an uncle, we're not sure. But when Mordecai was trying to convince Esther to go into King Ahasuerus so that she could save her people, because King Ahasuerus had written an edict that the entire Jewish nation should be killed. And Esther wasn't sure if she should go in or not, because she knew if he didn't hold his scepter out to her, she would be chopped liver. Her head would be cut off. And so she was pondering whether she should go in and save her people or not. And Mordecai said this to her, for Esther, if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance, Katsala, will arise for the Jews from another place, and you and your father's house will perish. And who knows whether you have not been born for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. What does this mean? Hatzalah 2020, my friend. We will be the voice of hope and deliverance for the women of our generation. We will. We will speak up. We will tell the story of Jesus. We will not hold back. If nobody else is talking about Jesus, we will be talking about Jesus. And the truth is, just like Mordecai said to Esther, if you don't do it, God will use somebody else. The truth is, God could use somebody else. And I hope he uses a lot of somebody else's. But let me tell you, I am determined to be a voice of Hatzalah, to bring deliverance to the women of my generation, deliverance from depression, deliverance from discouragement, deliverance from negativity. This is our calling. And I hope that you will join us for the 20th annual Carol McLeod Ministries Conference. This is the reason we are alive. This is the reason we are daughters of the Most High King, is to save the women under our watch. And I intend to do it. How about you?